Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at SUNY Oneonta. And tonight we've invited in to the studio members of our women's soccer team. So please join me after the break where I'll be joined by tonight's first guest, Liz McGraill. Welcome back to the show. Joining me now is head women's soccer coach Liz McGraill. Welcome back to the show, Liz.
Thanks, Geoff.
How are things going so far?
We're off to a pretty good start. You know, we're young, so we're a little bit up and down, but I think we're getting a little bit better each day. Right
now, we played some pretty good teams, two nationally ranked teams right early off. College of New Jersey, who we played to a 1-0 game, and then of course we beat number 14 Williams 2-0. Talk about those games.
I'd like to schedule tough games in the beginning of the season to try and let the team know this is who we want to be playing at the end of the year. So if they expose some weaknesses, that's fine. So we can work on them and get better and be ready. So we take that risk of maybe starting off a little bit with a, not so good record sometimes. But I think we did all right. It was nice to beat Williams. I believe it's the first time we've ever beaten them.
Yep.
We've had a pretty good rivalry with them for the last 3-4 years, meeting them in NCAAs, and now we've got a reciprocal date. And I think things just clicked, and the girls played with confidence. That was the Wednesday before we played the College of New Jersey. And then I think we talked about how the College of New Jersey was just a step above Williams, and I don't know if I said that too much because I think we played a little bit scared that game.
Right.
But 1-0's not a bad result.
Right, now it's that was on a neutral site. That was during the Meer's Cup.
Yes.
Certainly the next day we came back and beat William Patterson, to kind of get us at this point now. Early season stuff. Now the teams that we do schedule, those tough teams, get us ready for the SUNY? Is that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that Williams and the College of New Jersey are definitely not to say anything bad about the SUNY. I think it's a strong conference, but I think they're a step above. So you're getting used to playing where you don't have a lot of time, and playing quickly, the speed of play, right, and get you ready, I think. So.
Now, when we're looking for non-conference games, and of course the Meer's Cup is such a great tournament, and we've had a history of some very good schools that have come to the Meer's Cup, especially on the women's side, and now with the men's, they're starting to get out there as well, because now our men's team is kind of got the bullseye on their back, and everybody wants to play them. Do you look for those kinds of schools that are always in the national rankings?
Yes, I do. I want to play the best. If you want to beat the best, you got to play the best, but you also got to be careful. You don't want to start your season off 0-5,
right.
Which could happen if all 5 games are top notch. It's hard to. We're young, so I think what I've done in the last couple years is maybe that first weekend, strong NCAA bubble teams. Okay. So you're still playing tough competition, and then the Mayor's Cup's such a great tournament, so it attracts the top teams. So then if we can get the top-notch teams to Mayor's Cup, so then you kind of got to you're working your way up as
right.
you get into conference.
Right, a pretty good balance.
Where the men, I'm not sure if Ian feels this, the same way, but I think maybe he's a little bit more experienced right now, so
right.
That maybe they can play a little bit tougher. So I think in the past we have played, as many tough teams as we can, but
right.
you want to give your team some confidence as well.
Right. Now you said young team. We have 12, 13 freshmen?
Something like that. I know it's 2 seniors and 4 juniors and 3 sophomores.
Okay.
So the rest is freshmen.
And we got a couple of those upperclassmen on the show tonight, and Amanda and Kayla, who have been certainly starters for us and great players. How does their leadership as upperclassmen help with the younger kids?
It helps a great deal. In all the little things, even you got that many freshmen that are first time away from home. There's so many things off the field as well as on the field. But the upperclassmen have really showed this year. They set the standard of work ethic for the freshmen, and they push them, and they're not afraid to pull the team in if they don't think they're working hard before the coaches do, and kind of push them, but also let them know that you're going to get through it.
Right.
They've been where they are, and they've had those times of doubt, and
Now, are all their questions, are they just about soccer? I mean, what other kinds of things do they help with in the leadership roles that they have?
It's not, I mean, it's everything. You know, your academics, you know, the time you need to study, you know, you can't wait for the night before the exam, to, you know, when they're not feeling well, they're taking them down to get, you know, cough medicine, or telling them how to take, you know, you should be taking multivitamins. So it's just like, it's everyday life.
Right. And it's really part of being a team, building a team chemistry.
We really stress that this is your family away from home, and we're gonna take care of you, and we're gonna teach you the skills that are gonna help you be successful in anything that you choose to do.
Right. Now, of course, everything is geared towards postgraduate, you know, getting them into a master's degree program if they want, or just getting a real job and working in the real world. I mean, find
your passion and you know, aim high. So everything we do, that's what we're getting them ready for. And we believe that the skills that make us successful on the field are going to, if you can apply them to anything in life, they're going to make you successful in any field that you choose.
Right.
We've stressed, you know, I just filled out the paperwork to get a team academic award for last season for above a cumulative team GPA of above a 3.0. So that's the first time I've done that since I've been here. So
that's quite an
accomplishment. That's kind of nice.
Now, I think last spring you took on, I mean, of course, in our department we talk a lot about leadership and trying to make our players better leaders in our teams and on campus. And you really took that to heart last year, and you started doing some things with your upperclassmen. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I think leadership is, I mean, some people are natural leaders, but I think you can always improve on all your leadership skills. So, and I also feel that, you know, I got a great team. They want to be great leaders. Sometimes they don't necessarily know how to. So we've kind of adapted it each year. Last spring we took we broke them into smaller groups, and each coach took a small group, and we Corey Dobbs, who has a lot of literature out there on team leadership, and we kind of did a couple case scenarios with each group, smaller, so that way everybody can have some input. Then we would get together and do some stuff as a team. But you want to teach them the skills, and get them talking about what is you know, a good leader, and how, you know, sometimes it's not just, you know, there's so many different ways to lead. By example, you need a vocal leader, and a good team needs all of those, and it doesn't have to be, it's not going to be one person that's going to encompass all those things. So getting to know each other's strengths and playing to them. Okay.
How important is it to, are those small groups as it relates to maybe some of those other players or younger players who are with the program for just 1 year, you know, they're going to be sophomores now, important for their input and how that fits into the larger group?
You know, I think, you know, any good team, everyone's got to have a voice and feel comfortable giving you, you know, speaking up. And I think in those smaller groups, it allows them to give their input. And it also, we kind of are a little bit strategic on, you know, players are personalities, and sometimes ages will gravitate towards each other. So we mix it up with, you know, there's a senior to a couple freshmen in each leaders group, so that they can get and it might be someone they're not necessarily hanging out with naturally, to get them to know them and appreciate them a little bit better. So I feel like it's a huge welcoming. We do all other stuff, team building things to help them feel comfortable as well.
What kinds of team building things have you done?
In the past, we've done anything from playing paintball. We do some exercise out on the field called like trusting exercise. We call minefield, where there's like a maze and you're blindfolded and your teammate has to direct you verbally through the minefield. So you got to trust what they're telling you, and it's interesting. Sometimes if you get kids that are really close and do trust each other, they get through there like that. So it kind of recognizes them to, you know, and if maybe someone's personality isn't as trusting right away where someone is, you know, you see that, and you get to have good, healthy conversations afterwards, and it's fun. So.
Well, and actually that was my next question. I'm like, the season is, you know, it's 16, 18, 19 weeks, especially if you go Final Four, it can be 20, 21 weeks. You start in August, they're back here early, you know, when no one else is on campus. I mean, how do you lighten the mood, and how do you, you know, what kinds of things, you know, break up that tension and really, so they can enjoy the game?
You know, it's tricky because you got to get, you know, we have 2 weeks to our first game, so there's a lot of intensity, plus you're having tryouts, and you know, once that team's made, you want them to believe, you know, it's a family. We do some different things. We started in preseason. We do a pool workout twice during preseason. This year we did something a little bit different. We did a synchronized swimming routine in their smaller groups. They were in groups within the pool workout. After we went through the circuit, we had them 5 minutes to get together and come up with a synchronized skit for the rest, and you know, it was fun. Okay. So you do little things, you mix things in there, or we played water polo. Sometimes you do stuff upstate versus downstate just to get them, you know. So you know, the fun drills and practice, we have this volleyball heading game that they love, and it gets pretty competitive, and sometimes we'll play the new players against the returners, or you know, we'll mix it up. So right now you're feeling pretty good about the squad you have and the way they're coming together, and leadership now as we get into the SUNY portion of our schedule. You know, what are you looking for now in the next, you know, 3 to 4 weeks? We have some high hopes. We're hoping to get back on the top of the SUNY this year. We kind of took, you know, bump in the road last year, so we set the bar pretty high, but we talk about taking, you know, small steps at a time. So we have little specific things that we work on within each game, like smaller goals, to help us achieve those big wish goals, which would be to win the SUNY. So we can't take anybody lightly. You got to take it one day at a time, and always talk about we're either taking a step forward or a step back each day. So which is it going to be today? Okay. Now, what 2 or 3 teams are going to be the big challengers this year? I mean, of course, New Paltz and Cortland both went far in the NCAA tournament last year. You know, Brockport's always a strong team. I mean, are there a couple that are going to stand out for us this year? I would say Cortland, I've heard, is doing some pretty good stuff. New Paltz is off to a good start. I don't think their schedule's as strong, so the next couple weeks will tell. Fredonia is got some big wins already. They beat U of R, and they just beat William Smith. Wow. So and we play them at Fredonia, yeah. So wow. That is those are some big W's for them. So I'd be interested to see. It seems like the cycle now is back to where the conference is becoming top heavy again, where there are a lot of good teams and not, you know, in the past where maybe there was 1 or 2 and then everybody else. It's definitely a lot stronger conference. I wouldn't, you know, Potsdam I think is going to surprise people that, you know, you see some coaches out on the road recruiting all the time, and he's in his 2nd year, and I saw him everywhere I went, so I'll be interested to see. I think they may surprise some people. Well, looks like we got a tough road ahead, but we'll be up to the challenge, I'm sure. All right, we want to thank you for coming by tonight and wish you good luck the rest of the year, and hopefully we'll see you in the NCAA tournament. Thank you. All right, well, thanks for coming by, Liz. I'd like to thank my guest, Liz McGraill, for coming by tonight, and after the break, I'll be joined by junior Amanda Ragensberger.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now is junior women's soccer player Amanda Ragensberger. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Hi, how are you?
This is kind of familiar to you, right? Have you done this before?
I haven't been a guest on a show, no, but I've worked the scenes behind for a bunch of shows. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm a junior on this team. I am a mass communications major. I'm looking to do an internship this summer, so hopefully that works out.
What part of mass communications are you looking to get into?
I want to do production. I want to be on screen at some point in my life, but that takes some working to do. Now you're just kind of behind the scenes, people who maybe call the shots a little bit. And I don't know if I'd want to really be a director. Okay. I like seeing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, but I really want to get on camera. Yeah. Now, it's 3rd year with the program. You've been a starter for us. Certainly this year we're off to a pretty good start. We played some good teams in the beginning. What's it been like so far for yourself? This year it started off way different than last year, which is a great accomplishment already. The freshmen that came in really are very good assets to the team now. We are starting off as a stronger team than we were last year, more confident than we were, and it's a lot more fun when you're winning than when you lose. Now, why do you think there's a higher confidence level? I mean, what does that have to do with, you think? I think coming off of last year, everyone knew it needed to be done. We now know what needs to be done as a team, so when the freshmen came in, we knew how to start off well with them and start the program off on a good foot.
Now, when they new players coming into the program, certainly you're one of our leaders, within our soccer program. What's that like for you to be a leader for players coming into the program?
As a leader, I tend to lead by example, personally. I can be very vocal on the field. Sometimes I may get frustrated and my mouth closes, but I like to be more of a physical and leader as in my actions,
right,
and not more as
right. Now
vocal.
you play in the back for us, which
yes.
You can kind of see the whole field, so you can kind of direct a little bit while you're out there. I mean, your job, you're also one of our person that will take restarts or throw-ins because of your skills there. How important is that for you to be able to see the game where you can maybe direct traffic a little bit?
As a leader, it helps out a lot because, like you said, you can see the whole field. You can direct people where they need to be and where they should be. It's hard also because as a player and being on the field, you see what you see as well. So no matter if you are someone who sees the whole field or someone with the ball going up the field, you only have your own vision.
Right.
So you kind of have to go off of what either someone's telling you or what you see personally.
Right. Now, how does that translate? Because of course you want to work in tandem with the people that are in the back, and I mean, so how does that work as a group? I mean, how do you gals get together and kind of, so that everybody's kind of on the same page? It's
more just communication within on the field. Communication is really one of the key aspects of soccer and being successful. So if we're communicating with each other and directing each other where to go and giving help, telling them man on, turn, it helps the game flow a lot more and keeps us with possession more often.
Right. Now, the leadership skills that you're acquiring and learning about, I mean, we talked to Coach McGraill about some of the leadership things that she's done with the team. How do you think that will influence you as you move on, past graduation? I mean, you have another year, but still, I mean, even just going forward as you mature as an athlete. And
a lot of the skills that they teach us are mostly communication, helping each other out, being very vocal. So going on from graduating, it'll help me a lot with when I need a job and when I'm going for a job for interviews and meeting new people and having good communication skills in general.
Right.
As a person.
On campus, campus life, I mean, how have you enjoyed that, the 3 years that you've been here?
I love Oneonta. I love being here. I look forward to coming back every year. I look forward to my breaks flying by.
Right.
And being on campus, it's a beautiful campus. I mean, right now we have a lot of construction going on, but at the end of the day, it's going to be beautiful.
Right, and help us. Facility-wise, I mean, certainly we play on a premier grass field in this part of the, it's tough to keep a grass field in this part of the country or whatever with all the snow and all that stuff. I mean, what is it like to play in a facility like that we have?
Our field is amazing. Even walking out and just looking at it, it's just such a beautiful sight to look at, and it's a great accomplishment to be able to play on that field.
Right. Now, when you were being recruited, what stood out for you when you first came onto campus?
The soccer program in general, their success throughout the years really struck my interest.
Right.
And just the view, being upstate, I love it up here. I love the mountains, I love the sunsets, everything.
Well, that's good. Anything as we go forward here, we're going to start getting into some SUNY games. How do you see it from here on out?
It's going to be tough. There's some teams that already are surprising us. Like Coach Liz said, Fredonia's doing great. Cortland's doing well as well. And I think that we're ready for it. I think as a team we're ready.
Right. You think those early season games against the College of New Jersey and Williams, those are games that got you ready?
Exactly. Those are games that showed our weaknesses and showed our strengths. So I think that as a team we know each other well by now, and I think that we are ready to do well.
Certainly we think you are as well, and we hope that as we go forward here, as everybody stays healthy and it's smooth sailing, and certainly we want to wish you good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for coming by tonight.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'd like to thank junior Amanda Ragensberger of the women's soccer team, and after the break I'll be joined by senior captain Kayla Brandt.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is senior captain of the women's soccer team, Kayla Brandt. Welcome to the show, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a senior. I'm a psychology major and a minor in communications. That's about it.
You're one of our soccer captains this year, certainly well-deserved. I just have to say, whenever we watch you at home games, at any time we think when you have the ball, you are like dangerous. You can score from almost anywhere, and some of the goals you scored this year, like almost like from an incredible angle. I mean, are those things you practice, work on, or you just think you can do that? I mean,
well, most of the time I'm eager to score, and I want to get that ball in the box, whether it's for me to score or for somebody else to run it in. And the way it's been working, it's been going in, or somebody else has been on the end of it, so it seems to be working out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most memorable moments we had from a couple years ago when you went end-to-end against Rochester in the NCAA tournament to score that goal. I mean, everyone in the box is just still, and we still talk about it. I mean, 2 years later, it was just such an incredible skill to be able to do that. I mean, are those the kinds of things you think that you would do all the time, or is it just natural? I mean, we just want to...
I mean, it just, when the moment hits, it hits. When at that moment, that goal, I didn't think that I was going to be dribbling down the field and scoring a goal. I mean, I'm still in shock from it. I didn't believe it, but hearing people on the sideline, like Liz, saying, you know, go with speed, and you just decide that you're going to do it.
Right.
And that's really it.
Right. Now, is that exciting, those kinds of plays, that you're capable of doing those things? I mean, is that, you know, what does that do for yourself, like, you know, as far as confidence? And
well, I've had my sophomore year, I had a rough year with injuries and everything like that, so it's been a tough past 2 years trying to get that confidence back. But when things like that happen, it instills more confidence in me, and I realize that I can play the way that I did my freshman year, and I'm not.
Right, freshman year, you were SUNY Rookie of the Year. I mean, we actually had back-to-back Rookie of the Year. Kayla, Carly DeSimone was after you, but certainly now those kinds of honors and things, what do they mean to you to be able to be recognized? You're a 3-year all-conference player, certainly one of the better players in the conference. I mean, what do those kinds of honors mean to you?
It means a lot to me to know that I've earned something. However, it means a lot more to me if our team makes it. I would trade any personal award for us to go to the Final Four and win a national championship.
Right. Now, is that important as a leader on our team? Those are the kinds of things as you're starting with preseason and doing all these kinds of leadership things. I mean, are those the things that you're talking to the younger players about?
Absolutely. We always have the goals to make it deep in the tournament, and this year I'm extremely confident in the talent that we have, and I really do think that we can make it deep in the tournament.
Now, the younger players, I mean, we talked to Amanda about it, when they come into the program, you know, what does it mean to you to be able to kind of maybe impart a little knowledge or experience, you know, on them so that they can make their transition a little smoother?
It's important for us to do that for them. You know, we show them the first week where their classes are. We show them where the health center is. We show them where certain places downtown are. You know, we all have cars, us upperclassmen, so we drive them where they need to go. Walmart. Our goalie just, you know, kind of had a little twinge in her shoulder, took her, you know, to the hospital. So we're always there for each other, and it's good to know that we have the responsibility for them. Now,
do younger players ever kind of turn the tables a little bit and maybe show you something that you may not have known? I mean, I don't know. Has that ever been the case where some of the younger players might?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes they live on campus, so. Right. And campus is constantly changing, so sometimes they'll say, oh yeah, meet me in this room, or this, have you ever seen this building or this event that's going on? I'm like, no, I haven't, so.
Yeah, I mean, it always changes, and certainly, now as part of your academic, what are you hoping to do post-graduation?
I've been trying to make a decision, but I've really, in the past few months, been thinking about nursing, which my major isn't quite qualifying me for at the moment, but.
No. But it's certainly an admirable profession.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a boring job.
No. Well, certainly we do need qualified nurses, or nurses that can help. But anything memorable during your 4 years here? I know you got a semester left and all that, but anything up to this point that you think has really stood out for you as a student and an athlete here at Oneonta that you might say to a prospective student athlete?
Just the campus. The campus is growing and it's being redone constantly, and it's by the end of it, I think they said they're redoing a dorm every
They do one every
few years.
Yep, to be able
so everything's being updated, you know, our library, all the Macs that are downstairs. So the campus itself has really stood out to me.
Right. The center of campus is really getting the makeover at this point. A 2-year project with some academic.
It's unfortunate that my last year, that's what I got to look at, but hopefully I'll be back to see it and it'll be great.
Well, I'm sure you'll be back for the alumni games.
Absolutely.
Anything in particular this year, early season stuff? How do you think the team has handled some of the tough competition as we've...
I think we've been handling it well. You know, we've had some off moments, but otherwise, when we do what we need to do and we talk about the things we need to do in the games that make us successful, and when we do them, amazing things happen for our team. We look incredible. So we just have to be consistent with those. I
was just going to ask you, is it a matter of just being consistent every game or working towards consistency?
I think that right now the talent is there and the bond is there, and we've all been playing together for long enough to know it. I think we just got to be consistent about it and just keep reminding ourselves in the games of those things that we need to do, and there's no telling what's going to happen.
Right, and the competition that we've already played certainly, you know, as stated by Amanda and Coach McGraill, should get us ready for the tough games in the SUNYAC.
I feel like not a lot of other SUNYAC teams try to play as hard competition as we do, and I think that it really prepares us to go in there and have a better speed of play, just anticipate better.
Right, because of course building a strong schedule helps us, you know, if we happen not to, you know, win our conference tournament. I mean, there's always that Pool C berth, which we did get one year when we didn't win, because we do play those schools, you know, New Jersey and Williams and
sophomore year, remember.
I mean, we even went further than, you know, probably maybe people didn't think when we got eliminated in our SUNYAC tournament. So it was like, so that's great for us. It's great for our program, and I know you've been a part of it, big part of it for 4 years, and we certainly want to congratulate you up to this point and wish you the best of luck going forward, and hope you can finish out your senior year with a national championship.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thanks for coming by.
Thanks.
Well, I'd like to thank members of the women's soccer team for coming by tonight, and certainly you can follow the women's soccer team on our web at www.oneontaathletics.com. Certainly Twitter, Facebook. Please follow us however you can, get your updates, because a lot of our teams are off to great starts, so please check out our website. And we'll see you next time on Inside Red Dragon Sports.